Kanye dies tomorrow, is he going to be, in 20 years, are people going to talk about how he was crazy, or are they going to talk about his music? I think they'll still probably talk about his music.
I don't think so.
Bro,
OJ rushed for 2,000 yards. All we talk about is murder.
But music keeps playing.
Yeah,
music keeps playing.
Jackson.
I don't think
put on the song.
Michael Jackson, R. Kelly.
Michael Jackson was innocent. R. Kelly was not. But I think with some of these guys,
no. It doesn't matter if they're innocent or not. We're talking about what people are talking about. So who knows?
But it is weird when you see that Michael Jackson, those documentaries. You're like, I don't know, man.
He's trying to own all this shit, and they're like, all right, cool. Check out this smear campaign.
Those people have
never found guilty.
Those people have gone to. Sued him like 5 or 6 times, and they continuously get thrown out of court. Wade Wilson.
The FBI investigated everything. Yeah. No, there's never been an ounce of evidence that he molested any kid ever.
Now, saying that, is it not? You think it's not weird that he would like be with kids all the time, though?
Pretty weird.
Yeah. It's almost like, come on, okay, but
I think that's why they were like, oh, this can be easy.
Right.
Like you want to smear Michael? He loves kids. He's always with kids.
But then again, it's like again, there was no internet back then.
Right.
What's great about it, this is actually a great subject. When you deep dive on it, it's fun on the internet.
Really?
Because a lot, like I said, there was no internet back then. So now there's a lot of lawyers and journalists who have made videos, who have now investigated this. Yeah. And they have all this stuff, and this is what they talk about. They're just like, there's no way.
There's nothing.
You find out all the facts about the original cases, and they have all the case files on their things. It's actually it's an interesting deep dive.
It's a fun deep dive.
Yeah.
And the best I've seen is Adrian Foster, the running back for the Houston Texans. He's retired now, but he did a deep dive on it because he talks in layman terms, like he's just a normal dude, and he did a deep dive on it on his podcast. It's good.
Oh, I love that.
It's just weird, dude, especially like somebody who's been in a scandal like with that shit, like through the media. It's like,
think about it not having a voice. Like, you can't get on podcasts, you can't get on social media.
Right.
So Michael's like, what the fuck?
But here's the thing, though. With Michael Jackson, as time passes and they're not playing his music, and I think that this has become equal about him. I don't think when you think of Michael Jackson, I don't think you think of Billie Jean anymore because they don't play it as much anymore.
Yeah, but
this is the thing you think about more than anything else.
That's what we think about. Yeah. But in 30, 40 years, the music's still playing.
Maybe.
The music's still playing.
Maybe
bro.
Thriller around Halloween.
No, music. God, you know that song? I got toast and jam. You know that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the fucking 20s. It's still playing.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? I don't know.
Serial rapist.
Yeah, could have been.
Every now and then.
Is he?
The most popular musicians ever are Mozart, Beethoven.
Yeah, you're telling me Mozart didn't do anything?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm agreeing with your point.
Remember. Yeah.
Chopin. These people are going to last longer than
Chopin.
Any of these dumb artists you guys you like. You know what I mean?
All he did was jerk off in front of coworkers.
So anyway, so stupid. So who knows? Who knows? I agree. But getting back to your point, what I'm saying is right now. Like you were saying right now, I think a porn star. Look, if you're a famous porn star, you're good. That's what you're going to be known for.
Yes.
Like let's say
if you're famous,
Eric. Let's say a new house becomes available. Your next door neighbor and the most famous OnlyFans girl moves in, and she has a son, your son's age, Wolf's age. Would you let him go over there and play?
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
What are you talking about? We're like, it's like, unless I.
And she's currently doing it.
No,
Got him.
What are you talking about?
And she's currently doing it like, hey, sorry, I can't have Wolf over today. We're shooting a gangbang scene.
That's not what. That's crazy. Here's the thing, though.
That's the job.
Take Eric's kids away.
I don't think that you would have. What I'm saying is like you're painting a picture of like if you know that's going on.
Yeah, it's going on.
If a bus of guys are getting out in front of the house, you'd be like, "What's going on?"
Okay, she goes.
Can you watch Phil? A bunch of guys are coming over to spit roast me tomorrow.
That would be different. But I'm saying I would think that they would separate their. You know what I mean?
Okay, so she's not doing it at the house, but you still see it online.
Well, I wouldn't see it online, but I know what you're saying.
Hey,
the kids see.
But let's say you're aware of her work. You're aware she's just fucking. Can Wolf come over today?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to.
I don't think that.
No.
I would say no.
Yeah.
No.
Just because.
Fuck no.
I don't know, man.
No, we can't be around that bullshit.
But hold on though. The kid's 8, and he says, "What is it?" And you got to explain it.
Yeah.
When he's 8.
Yeah, you know,
Well,
mom.
what I'm saying is like I would think that's not in my mind. That's not going on. In my mind, like if you're painting a picture that like you live next to a whorehouse,
right?
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
We have
No,
a
I'm
bigger
not.
problem with the HOA.
No, you're
than just
missing it all.
I don't know, man.
That's her occupation. So whether she's doing it at her house, which most OnlyFans girls do, or she's doing it fucking 7 miles away, that's her occupation currently.
Yeah.
I would have some grace for the kid.
Well,
I would hope that
you'd want to have grace, but you
Yeah.
also want to protect your kid.
I would say fuck no.
Fuck no, what?
You're not hanging out with Timmy. His mom sucks cock left and right.
How was it at Timmy's? Oh, it was great. I met Uncle Ben and
Yeah,
Uncle
yeah,
John
yeah, yeah.
and Uncle Sam. and
Well, what,
Yeah,
what about
I got a ski mask.
Then you don't want your kids ever hanging out with the Kardashians' kids?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Same thing.
No.
I wouldn't want that.
You don't want your kids hanging out. Like if they go to the same school, then they're having a party.
Just based off.
How do you handle that? It's like it's almost like people that say like I'm not going to give my kid a cell phone. Then they're out at school and every kid has
you
a
don't want
cell
them to
phone.
get shamed and shit. I mean, you
So
don't
how
have
do
a
you?
cell
I'm just
phone,
saying, how
fuck
do you maneuver through all this kind of stuff?
You maneuver through it. You figure it out. It's like
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking you.
If,
you know what I mean?
If my
kid's 15 months.
If
and
my
I'm like, all right, I got to think about these things.
If one of my kids was like, "Hey, Kanye West's son invited me over," and he's 8.
Well, first of all, they wouldn't say that. They would say,
Yeah, he's
whatever.
kid.
They wouldn't say that.
Yeezys.
No, they wouldn't say that. They would say Bob or whatever the kid's name is.
No, man.
Hey, I'm hanging out with Bob, and you would be like, "Oh, that's
Bob
cool."
West, dude.
Yeah, whatever the fucking
But
kid's
I'm
name
saying-
is. They wouldn't. That would be crazy. You know how fucking crazy that sounds?
Yeah.
Your kid comes home. If Calvin came home and said, "Dad, Yee's kid wants," that's not how
No
it's gonna be.
shit, man. I'm doing it so you'll know who I'm talking about.
No, but what I'm saying to you is, when do you find that out?
Oh, okay, fair enough. But that's not what you said until now.
When you find
That's
what
not what
out?
you said
You
until
didn't,
now.
even, you didn't even let me get there.
When you
because
find what out? Who his dad is?
Yeah. So the
Yeah,
kid.
you know though, bro.
No, you don't.
Because he names his kids shit like Winky and stuff.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Winky wants me over.
Oh, my
that's
God.
Kanye's kid. You know, like,
Winky West. I'm saying if your kid is like now like been going to school for 6 months, and they're he's like making friends, and then the kid is like, "Hey, Dad, so and so," and you're like, "Oh, this is cool." Like what does the kid do?
Yeah.
When do you ask about what the mother?
Well,
go back to the porn
Eric,
stuff.
you'll
I'm
know.
saying go back to the porn stuff. Okay, your kid goes to public school, private school, whatever. Do you think that everybody at the school is going to know that
Everyone knows.
this mom is
100%.
a such and such porn star?
100%. 100%.
it depends what age, but yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe not 5, but yeah. But
No,
like 10.
everyone will know.
You mean
Everyone
he's
knows.
talking about the parents?
Everyone
Yeah.
will know.
Yeah,
I
would
could
think
tell
so.
you what every one of Tiger's friends do before Tiger was friends with them.
So like, are you going to send? But I could see that at like a prestigious private school because maybe they don't even let that kid into school if they know that. But if your kid's going to
let
like
him
get the money. If it's like a regular situation, like what if like
Well, the only thing
regular private? Maybe you want to send your kid to public school. Maybe
All
it's
right,
like
to help Eric's argument out, let's say Calvin's going to public school, right? He's
Yeah.
like, "Dad, meet my friend Jeff. Can I go over Jeff's?" Like, "Yeah, sure." And nobody would really know this. You find out that the dad's a Hell's Angel.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So, not some as glam.
Yeah. No. Because
Or even if it's Riley Reid. What if it's like, well, what if like now the kid comes to your house, Calvin's like, "This is my buddy,"
Yeah.
and then they're playing, they're having a good time. And, "Oh, my mom's coming to pick me up." You open the door and it's like 47-year-old Riley Reid.
He's never coming back again.
look, it's like
you're like, but you don't know right away
But
because she's
hold on.
47.
If
You're like, huh?
if you're currently
you do?
still doing it, that's different than you
Yes.
have done it.
Yes.
If you have done it, then okay. I try to give the person give the person grace. You'd like
That's
to.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. If they're on their way from a bukkake, you don't get to go over.
So you think like the mom's gonna pick up their
All
kid?
glazed and shit. I knew you were going. I knew you were going. Yeah.
Bing, bong. She opens the door and it's just like, "Oh, hey, do you guys have a towel?"
I came here
So
to
I
pick.
didn't have time to clean up.
I came here to pick
you have a
Jeff.
towel?
I came here to. Never mind.
Do the Drapes podcast.
I had a fucking bit.
Do it.
Go ahead. Go do it.
Never mind, dude. It was. You know what it was? No. It was a good bit, and you guys just kept talking, dude. And it's fine, but you weren't. You don't get it. You don't get it now.
Woo! Getting Chris mad is like the best thing, right? You know what I mean? Good for the